So a couple of days ago, I went back to Akihabara in Tokyo, which is a quarter dedicated to electronics, anime, games, and stuff that basically otaku usually like. It's a very special quarter in Japan. This is one of the places where you can see anime, gaming, and I would say all related culture in one place. And you can see these kind of huge buildings with lots of anime ads everywhere, which is very unusual, even for Japan. And so as I was walking around in the streets, I happened to notice one of the Softmap store actually had at the entrance an advertisement for the Steam Deck as well as the ROG Ally. And it's not everywhere in Japan yet that you can see these units being sold. And here they advertised that you could actually try out the devices on the fifth floor. It was my first time that I could actually check their ROG Ally physically. So I said, like, why not? Let's have a look. So the building is typically, shared between the latest phones, parts, CPU parts. Apple has a prominent, I would say, place in Japan as well. And finally, you get to the gaming PCs floor. And as you get there from the escalator, you could see that there was a small corner for the Steam Deck. It was fairly visible, so there's no way you could miss it right after you come out from that floor. And even though that space was relatively small, it was fairly well equipped. You could actually try out the Steam Deck, and there was a couple of accessories that were being sold. And as you can see, it's tax-free as well, because there's lots of foreigners coming in this quarter as well. So it's always good to be able to remove the tax when you're buying. As you can see here, there's a lot of other gaming PCs sold around, so it's really a world of PC gamers out there. And if you looked at what kind of software was available on the Steam Deck, was mostly very similar to what you saw in Edion a few months ago, mostly focused on the Japanese games lineup, with some recent titles, The Ghost Trick, as well as Street Fighter 6. And then you also had this kind of weird accessories like this double twin fan accessory that's supposed to cool down your Steam Deck. I'm not sure how many people actually buy these kind of things, but that's funny to actually see this kind of thing in reality. And then there was a corner for the ROG Ally. It was not very far from the Steam Deck, so it was in the ROG section from Asus. And there you had this unit that you could try it out. And the only game I think that was in demonstration, but I'm not 100% sure, was Forza Horizon 5, I believe, or 4. It was possible to try it out. And first thing, I was fairly surprised with the ROG Ally is that he was heavier than I thought. It looks smaller than Steam Deck, but maybe the density or the shape itself makes it actually feel heavier in your hands. Performance was great otherwise, at least on the game that was demonstrated here. The screen was beautiful. The controls were okay, but it felt a bit stiff in your hands compared to Steam Deck. Definitely not as easy to hold. It felt like maybe your hands would get painful after a while. At least it didn't feel anywhere near as comfortable as the Steam Deck. And also the Windows 11, switch kind of thing between the gaming session to Windows 11 felt a little bit weird. So I'm not sure how comfortable it is to switch between games, between different stores and so on. Even though technically it supports all games, on PC. It looks like the interface, the OS integration, is going to be probably one of its weak points. And as you already know, there's no trackpad either, so anything that requires the mouse is going to be a compromise at best. Well, but anyway, it was great to actually be able to hold one in one hand. I was a little bit unimpressed after trying it out. I thought it would be actually a bit better than I thought, especially the ergonomics parts. But that's good to be able to see things in reality and confirm or change your assumptions. As you could go around as well in the quarter, Akihabara is a fairly interesting place. There's a lot of content to see if you're into animation, if you're into console games and everything. And the quarter has changed a little bit since, past few years. But overall, it's still very much a place where you can enjoy the subculture of Japan. And you can find a lot of figurines, a lot of goods that's related to both recent and retro hardware. So I'll definitely recommend you have a look if you spend some time in Japan in the future.